Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Living Astrology with Janet Hickox. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea, sit back, and let's chat about what is happening up in the stars above us. I hope I'm live here this morning because I didn't wait for this to show up and tell me if I was or I wasn't. I'm just assuming that I am. So, how's everybody doing out there? Hopefully, you're having a great day so far. I was really excited this morning when I looked out the window and I saw the moon, kind of a little less than half and a little more than crescent out there, showing its beauty as the sun rose in conjunction with Saturn. And you couldn't see Pluto, of course, but you know it's there, and Mars and Jupiter as well. So the picture that I posted this morning with the show news was that of my app, my Star Map 3D Plus, and I just pointed at the body in the sky that I want, and I can take a picture, or I can screen munch it so I can get a copy of that picture. So it was beautiful. I hope you all got to see it. I'm actually going to be showing it to you here in just a moment. But because I had to restart my computer before I could go on live this morning, I'll have to find it again and reopen it. Let me see if I can do that while I'm waiting for people to check in. Good morning, and to Judy. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Mimi. Good to see you all out there so far. So good. Let's see here. I'm going to go to my downloads, and here we go. I think I've got it. Now, let me just share my screen so everybody can see it in case you didn't see it this morning on the show or on the Facebook page. Okay, here we go. So what I do when I see, for example, here's the moon, and I just point my camera in my phone right at it with this app. And then what happens is all of these things start to show up. I couldn't quite get it to tell you, though, that this was Mars. So this is what we're looking at when we look at the moon. We're seeing Jupiter and Mars both fairly close to one another in a conjunction, as well as a conjunction with the moon. The moon closer into the Earth, though, so they don't quite look. I mean, what does a conjunction look like? It looks like this because they're at different distances from the Earth itself. And then over here, Saturn, a little further out from these two planets right now. He's at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So what we also can't see here, because I had to zoom it in, was that this is the sign of Capricorn, the zodiac sign of Capricorn. However, the constellation it's sitting in looks like it's possibly the very end of Sagittarius. And that's just because of precession of the equinoxes and it not quite lining up. But beautiful. And I urge you, if you get an opportunity, please go outside and take a look this evening at what the sky looks like if you have clear skies, because it is really dazzling when you can just focus in and you go, you know, we're feeling all the effects of these planets, right? We're feeling the effects through the coronavirus, through the discord that it's creating out there in the atmosphere, from all of the big changes that have been taking place. And now we can physically, with our eyes, view what area of the sky where this is all taking place. So that is our moon today in the sign of Capricorn, conjunct Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, sextiling the sun, and later in the day in a conjunction to Saturn. And that is actually the last aspect the moon will make today for a while as it goes into the void, of course, which is just a small one today. This is from 5:48 p.m. to 6:16 p.m. So literally, what, 30 minutes maybe? And that is West Coast time. So for those of you on the East Coast, it'll be later in the evening, 8:48 p.m. to 9:16 p.m. For those of you in Europe, it'll be middle of the night. You won't even notice. It'll be a blip. You might notice it in your dreams, but you're not going to notice it in your life. And most of us are home from work by that point in time, so it shouldn't even be a blip on your day. And then the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius now getting ready to take center stage, as later this month, Saturn will move there, followed by Mars, then a Mars-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius. And then the moon will also be in Aquarius then for the spring equinox. And anytime we experience an equinox, spring equinox for those of us in the northern hemisphere, autumn equinox for those of you down below, and the equinoxes and the solstices and eclipses, they form um, portals or gateways to new experiences and to new ideas and new expressions of the energies that we've been experiencing. So hopefully tomorrow's equinox changes up some of the energy that we've been experiencing. If it doesn't, don't panic. I'm thinking it might eventually change things. Of course, that's sort of a no-brainer. Things are always changing. But the reason I say eventually is because it's going to take some time, because we still have Pluto and Jupiter that will be in the sign of Capricorn, and they come into a conjunction themselves on April 4th. So I think things are going to change, maybe even get better, because I don't see them really changing for the worse, but getting better, but slowly through the month of April. Now, interestingly enough, Mother Earth kicking up a fuss this morning just before 7, I guess it was, or I guess it was 7 o'clock my time by the time I heard about it, but it was 7 o'clock Mountain Time when Salt Lake City was shaken by a 5.7 earthquake. So I'm sure that scared some people and also shook people up, no pun intended, as in it's not normally a place where we think of earthquakes happening. So for our listeners, for example, Suzanne Fulmer, I know she lives somewhere around Salt Lake City. So hopefully you can check in with us, Suzanne, if you're hearing this, and just let us know that you're okay. A 5.7 is nothing to sneeze at, but I would expect that possibly Mother Earth will begin, kicking up another fuss here in the next couple of days as well. So we'll just have to watch and see what happens here. I mean, does anything surprise us anymore, people? I mean, are we even shocked at anything that happens? I mean, not me. I mean, anymore, it's like, oh, okay. But I did wake up this morning with a knot in my stomach. And when that happens, there's usually something, to me, there's something going on. Maybe it's just not, maybe it's all of the fear energy that just, comes in, sits in you, through the middle of the night, the collective, fear field. I don't know, but I woke up with that feeling. It's since passed. This is a good thing. So I'm feeling better about that feeling that I had. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Let me go back to Facebook over here and check in with people, see how everybody's doing. If I can find myself here. There I am. Judy said, good morning. Amy Moore, good morning to you. Debbie Tibbetts-Tumiel, good morning to you as well. And even things shaking up in the sports world as we have Tom Brady no longer a Patriot, but likely going to be a Buccaneer, Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So moving to your part of town there, Miss Debbie. And I know Debbie loves Tom Brady. So she's also a fan of the Patriots. So of course she's going to be excited to find him in her backyard. Well, somewhat so, at least in your same state. Good morning, Marissa from West Virginia, the very last state in the U.S. to come up with a case of the coronavirus. Stay safe and be well for all of you and your fellow citizens in West Virginia. I'm hoping that this is culminating. As you all know, yesterday my husband woke up very ill. We took him off to get tested for whatever at the advice of a medical establishment. He was not given the coronavirus test, which I'm not sure if I feel like that was a good thing or if I feel like this is a sham, because who knows, right? I don't know. I do know, though, that likely we're still not up to par with the number of tests that are available. And so they are prioritizing the worst cases to receive that test, and the people who don't seem so bad not getting that test. So I don't know if that in the long run is a good thing or a bad thing, but at least for the short term, we need to know the most difficult cases are getting that testing. So here in our state, the death toll keeps climbing, and I'm sure we're going to keep hearing that over the next couple of weeks. But we're like anything else, we always turn the corner. We always turn the corner and we always come back. What I would really love to see, and I may go looking for this today just for my own satisfaction, it's that Sagittarius opposition that I have with my son. I want that deeper information. I want to go and find out a statistic that compares the deaths from coronavirus to the deaths from the regular flu. And not because I'm morbid or anything like that, but I just got to see for myself if there's something to the coronavirus, or is this something that's just overblown at the moment. So if I find any stats on that, I will certainly let you know. And if anybody out there has seen them and can direct me to a place where I can look those up, please let me know. Good morning, Irene Alberg. Nice to see you. She says hello from Sweden. Turbulent here as well, no doubt. Judy Wheeler says my hometown. I'm not sure where that is. Judy, I can't remember. She says a total shock and a huge change. Everything seems to be a little bit shocking right now, I think. When I was looking at the transits for the day, you know, and what I'm seeing, right, is a conjunction. Anytime a planet like the moon or any other planet comes into a conjunction, it blends and melds the energies available from both planets. So when we see moon in Capricorn, which is in some ways trying to hold back emotion, even while feeling it. And maybe that was that ball in my stomach this morning, that holding back of that emotion, trying to keep it in check. At the same time, it's conjuncting Mars, which is a planet of action and assertiveness or aggression, even that dynamic motion, right? It just wants action. And then later it melds with the energy of Jupiter, which is expanding and big, making things bigger and out of proportion. And does that mean that we see some explosions today in the number of cases of the virus? Does it mean that we see an emotional explosion or reaction to the rising cases or numbers of people with the virus? Who knows, because Jupiter has this magnification thing that it can do. Then there's the conjunction to Pluto. Now we have very powerful emotional energy that is going to bust out. And then the sun and the sextile to the moon isn't really going to have much chance to gain traction, because right after that we have the conjunction of the moon to Saturn, taking us into a dullness or a sadness or a melancholic state. And that, of course, is what we're left with in the void of the moon, which thankfully doesn't last too long. But then the moon moves into Aquarius and right into a connection, an opposition, I mean, not an opposition, a square to the planet Uranus. So the next several hours to the next couple of days may be a little bit strange, a little bit odd. But you know what? We're kind of getting used to that. And what I was aiming at as I started to talk about each of these different transits is that right now, a lot of people are looking for security. They're looking for stability, and in some way, shape, or form, they're looking to control what seems to be out of their control. And so consequently, we see people that are hoarding and, you know, still, you know, I was just watching this video from a doctor in Italy where, you know, of course, they've had this explosion of the virus and lots of people dying there. And he said people are stealing medical supplies. And I mean, how much worse can things get when they're stealing the very things that we need in order to, you know, make people that are ill better, or at least more comfortable, helping them to get through the virus. And, you know, I know as we hear these things, I mean, it does make my blood sort of boil, but I get it. People don't feel secure. They're not feeling stable. It almost feels like at any minute the earth is going to crack open and we're all going to fall in it. And in those people who don't have a stability through faith or through some kind of mindfulness, it can really create that havoc and that chaos. And the expression of that havoc and chaos then comes out in behaviors, emotional explosions, fear, which all of those things are all a part of fear. So the best thing that we can do is we can take in this information just for the sake of knowing what's going on, but not to allow it to change who you are or or affect how you feel emotionally. You can feel it, but you can let it go. We're bringing it in and we're letting it go. We can use this as a way to elevate ourselves. And elevating ourselves right now comes into play because we are also looking at the beginning of a new human design week, where always right around the solstice and the equinoxes, we move into the gates of love, we call them. I'm going to see if I can't show that here to you. Let me see if there's any comments before I go away. Mimi says, we will see both the best and the worst of people. I believe the light will shine through. I believe you are right. And let's see as we go. Sagittarian week, Judy Wheeler's feeling very emotional. I totally get it. And lots of fear around. And, you know, if you're pulling in that fear, and then you make decisions based on that fear, you can really be, you know, feeding this mania instead of calming it. So we have to be able to stay calm and face what's going on. I don't mean to hide your faces in the sand. Face what's going on, but you don't have to buy into the fear part of all of that. Good morning, Colleen. She says, my 17-year-old says the earth is cleaning herself. China's air pollution just about gone. Venice canals so clean. The swans came back. Nice. Dave, mostly through Kim. Nelson says, good morning from Kim. And Judy Wheeler, gates of love. Yes, indeed. So let me take a look, or let me show you what I can here. I don't need that. I'm going to go back to Zoom here for a moment. And my picture looks grainy to me today, and I don't know why. My light is weird, maybe. The sun is up and it was shining through that window, so I had to close the blind a bit. Otherwise, I'm being blinded on my side eyes. So let's take a look here at, I'm going to share. Here we go. Now you're looking at a human design chart. Oops, that I need to make bigger again so that everybody can see it. Maybe not quite that big. All right, so here is the chart of the moment. For the day. Actually, this will change in a few hours. The moon will change gates. She is right now at the gate of psychosis, right in the shadow energy. So the shadow that's being triggered very powerfully now with Mars and Jupiter and Pluto all sitting right here in this gate. And now the moon is this opportunity that we have to clear out that psychotic fear connection that we have, right? I think, you know, Colleen, I think your daughter or son, whoever you said that was, your 17-year-old has it right? We're having to clear out some of that fear on this planet. And right now it's really intense because it's all sort of focused right here at the gate 61. And in the highest expression, of course, that is the gate that takes us to inspiration and to sanctity. And also what I saw today in the energy of the Pleiadians is that the Pleiadian-Earth energy is that this is a time for us to harmonize and move into a connection where we have both soul, spirit, and physical in balance and harmony. You're also going to see that in your human design gates today as the sun is now moved to the gate 25, which is the gate of universal love in its highest expression. This gate is about the higher order of love, the organizing principle of the universe, as opposed to just, I love you, you love me. And then we'll be able to, you know, get into this field of love energy. In the gift, that was, by the way, universal love is the highest expression. So the Siddhi, in the gift expression, it is the energy of acceptance. I have such a tough time with this one. Of course, my design sun is sitting at that gate. And so it is my life lesson to understand what acceptance and universal love have to do with one another. In the lowest expression, this is constriction, where your throat tightens up or we become smaller. We become more contained. So the shadow energy of constriction and what is happening in our outer world, but our worlds are getting smaller. It feels like our world is getting smaller. Our personal worlds, maybe not the earth necessarily, but we're having to pull in right now, right? We are being asked to self-quarantine if we're sick. We're being asked to avoid interaction with more than 50 people at a time. And some people say more than 10 at a time. We're being asked to stay home, to stay, you know, schools are out. So we have this more close connection with one another in our families. And yet it feels constrictive, right? Because we just don't feel free enough to go running about and doing all of the things that we want to do. So that is playing into this constriction energy will also exacerbate that feeling a bit for some people. So the way to move out of that constriction is to move into acceptance. And acceptance would just be that, okay, this is the way it is at the moment. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong, but it does say that I'm not going to go against the flow and fight this tooth and nail and grab and strain and stress. Nope, I am going to be calm and I'm just going to go with this flow, whatever that flow might take me to. And in acceptance, then I can reach toward universal love. Now that's where the sun is. And by the way, this is the love of spirit. So this is very much speaking to our connection to source, our divineness, our inner being, our what your soul, however you want to play that word. But it is talking about that connection that we have to the unseen realm. Now, the earth, on the other hand, is at the gate 46, which is down here. Gate 46 is also a gate of love, but is the love of the physical. So it is the love of being in the body and enjoying the physical senses, being here, feet grounded on the earth, connected to all the trees, the birds, the plants, all beings, everything, being one. And is the love of the physical in its lowest expression. Its shadow experience is seriousness. Right. This is where as both Richard Rudd and as I've heard Karen Curry Parker in her book, Understanding Human Design, they refer to this gate as something of, in its seriousness, it begins the death and dying process in the body. And that is because the gift level here is delight, that life is really not about being serious. That takes us into on a different path, the pathway toward death, which we're all going to get there. So don't get me wrong, but it's a part of the field of the fear energy on the planet that takes us into that possibility, that fear of death and dying, and delight and ecstasy being the highest expression. So we have the love of the physical and the love of spirit joined together as we walk through the Equinox gateway tomorrow, but we enter it today as these two gates become the place where the sun and the earth is sitting. We also have Mercury. And Mercury, now he's not retrograde. He hasn't taken center stage as much, but he is still in the sign of Pisces, very early in Pisces. He just moved there this week, right? Remember, on the 16th, Monday. And he is sitting at the gate 55 down here, right? This is the gate 55, which is the gate of the abundance, or the abundance through spirit. Our birthright, right, is to be able to create abundance on the planet. And so we have the 25, we have the 46. These are gates of love. The gate 2 here is where we have Venus sitting right now. And Venus at gate, this is a gate 2. This is, 2 also, that is of love. And it's a very highly receptive gate. It is where we receive creation energy, where we receive inspiration, where we take things in. It's very feminine energy. It's the most yin gate in the human design. And so what we see here is the ability to take in what is around us, taking in love, taking in humor, taking in fear even, I suppose, but being receptive to more creative energies. And then, of course, Neptune is still sitting at 22. The preponderance of the energy right now is at this gate up here in the head, which is a pressure center. So it may be where we might feel pressure to get all those answers. It may feel, even in my own head, why I want those statistics so badly, because somehow knowing makes it easier, right? Makes it easier. If we know the facts, if we know, what's happening, we feel a little less insecure, and we might feel a little more open to just living our life in delight. So go to delight, go to acceptance. If you can, get to universal love and get to ecstasy and enjoy living every moment, right? And as some people were saying here, the air is cleaner than ever in China. The canals in Venice are cleaner than ever. There are some really high sides that are being presented to us, a really high opportunity for us to really change the way that we interact with each other and with the earth, and take that opportunity. Everybody take that opportunity. We still also have the South Node and the North Node, which are both at gates that bring us to more peace and serenity and harmony, and also joy and bliss. And what we find later this month, the 24th, so that'll be next Tuesday, the nodes will be shifting and they'll be moving out of these gates of showing us where we've been out of sync with harmony and peace in our lives. And they'll be moving into the other two gates of love over here on the identity center, the gate 10, which is the love of self, and the gate 15, which is the love of humanity. And I find that to be really fascinating because the nodes moving here to these gates feels very Aquarian to me. And then that will happen just before the planet Saturn moves out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, and before Mars moves out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. So I think things are changing. We're becoming more humane, perhaps more human, and all that can be a good thing, right? All right, so I'm going to go back over here, see if there are questions about charts. Judy, yes, that's absolutely the best way to get through. Amy says, I saw something that said, apparently my regular lifestyle is called quarantine, and that made me giggle a little in all this chaos. Thought I'd share. Sending lots of love to everyone. That's funny, Amy. I also saw that kids that are conceived and born within the next 9 to 10 months, when they reach their teens, that we could call them quarantines. Quarantines. And of course, that generation will be called the coronials. I just cracked up over that one. Jody, very astute. She says, or he, I'm not sure, Jody. Yes, you're a woman. I can't tell. Yes, you look like a woman. Thank you very much. She says, it's not the situation, it's our thoughts about the situation. Profound, profound. That's exactly right. What is it that we're thinking about what it is we are experiencing here? And we can choose, right? We have free will still. It's not like our free will is taken away just because we're in quarantine, or because we are, living our lives a little bit smaller. Our free will is about how do we react? What do we think about this? How do we take and use this energy to our advantage? How do we live our lives? That's your choice, right? That's your free will. Okay. No other questions there. So now let's take a look at what is going on with the Pleiadian-Earth energy. Today we have moved to 9 planting. Planting energy was Kan in the Mayan calendar, which was represented by a seed. So it's about what are we putting in the ground? What are we planting? What are we, putting away for a rainy day, or what are we getting ready to see come up through the surface? The number 9. Remember, the number part of this is about the universal energy. And then the other planting energy is the earth energy. So the 9 energy is about harmony and harmonizing all the input from our previous 8 days since we entered into the new spiral of consciousness, or the new week, at the 1 intuiting. Remember, intuiting energy, right? So we're already seeing this umbrella of looking at things from an inner view. And now today we get to harmonize all of the energies that have come along in those previous 8 days. How is everything that we've experienced interconnected? And then this particular day brings about an energy that's more peaceful. There's a vibe of cooperation and collaboration that's available if we lean into that energy, as opposed to some of the more difficult energies that we have on the planet right now. Planting energy is so fun because it's really lucky, and it's represented by the rabbit in some of the Mayan glyphs, where the rabbit represents prosperity, fertility. So we have the potential for new beginnings, for new pathways to become available for us to do things, or to new pathways to how we want to use our emotions, etc. We have to act maturely, however, we have to act responsibly, and we have to act sustainably. Maturely, responsibly, sustainably. Because if we are not, then we are not using the energy of planting correctly, and the seeds are going to wilt and die. They may not even come up through the soil, right? So we have to be acting in a way that is actually much more mature than what we see at times on this planet. And this energy today will spur us to contribute by using our gifts and our talents, all the things that, help us to move forward fearlessly in our lives. So great day today, I believe. Take some time, move inward, and consider, what is all of this bringing to you? What are you learning? What are you experiencing? What fears are being triggered for you? And how do you walk through that fear? The one thing I can say for us here in Washington, while this has been tragedy for some families and, kind of whiplashed for the rest of us, it has been a series of beautiful days, bright sunshine, not necessarily warm. It was 32 this morning and likely going to be maybe 50 today, but beautiful, right? So it makes it feel better, and it makes me feel like there's a rainbow at the end of this, right? That the rainbow has a pot of gold at the end of it. So good stuff. All right. I noticed that Judy, I think it was Judy, now that I've got to go back here, had asked for a card reading. And Debbie says, lost track of time reading Lion King to grandson. Good morning to you, Debbie. Reading the Lion King. I love it. And so let's do a card reading for you, Judy. And if anybody else who didn't receive one last week needs one, let me know. Judy, do you have a preference? Because I chose the Wisdom of the Oracle, but I would be happy to do dragons or goddess power or spirit animals. What else do I have over here? Well, the others are too far away to reach, but right now I'm going to pull you a Wisdom of the Oracle and see what we get. And yin. Oh, too funny. Too funny, too funny. So hold on. I got to go back to Zoom for a minute to make sure I've got this card centered. Here's yin, the card number 2. What did I just say about the gate 2, right? Gate 2, the most yin gate in the human design. And here we have yin energy for you at the gate 2, or I mean at card number 2, yin energy for your card reading. So let's see what that means. And it was right side up. So card 2 says the essential meanings are the feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. And here's your message. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. Lovely card, Judy. Lovely card. I'm going to go check back and see if there was... Of course, you have time. I would take one. Okay, Debbie Hedden, D-D-H. Okay, and Colleen. And Judy says, that's awesome. Amy, any deck. Okay. And there we go. So Debbie Hedden, I'm getting goddess for you. So hold on, got to unpack them. I didn't expect to do card readings today, but I got through all the information I had to share with you fairly early. So yay, we have time. Okay, so goddess for Debbie Hedden, this is. Debbie, I don't even know how to say this. Benzai 10, Jen. The cards. Let me show it to you. Let me go back to Zoom here. This is so disturbing when it's like this and I can't read the name, but this is the card number 6. And her name is Benzai Jen, and it means beauty. So let's take a look and see if maybe when I see the real printing, card 6. We haven't had her, so this is interesting. And it was right side up, so it's an empowerment message for you, Debbie Hedden. It says, you are at your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, Benzai 10, reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty arises to greet you. Open your eyes to the wonder everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. Beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, a place, or a thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzai 10 will help you. And she's just beautiful. I love the blue warrior paint across her eyes. Okay. So Debbie, I hope that's helpful for you. And let's see who is next. Colleen. Colleen, did you have Debbie Tippett says me, Janet, me. And let's do that. And Colleen, yes, I have time. So I'm going to do a wisdom of the oracle for you, Colleen. And let's do this. They require being really mixed up, not messed up, mixed up. There we go. Flexible, card number 19, and she was right side up. And, whoops, number 19, there we go, see her? She's looking like she's up on an egg, and the card says flexible. And let's see what that one means for you. Just have to know what I did with the book for it. Okay, number 19. Okay. Teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. And the oracle's message says a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be right now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So hopefully that means something for you, because it took us a minute to get that out. And let's see, Amy Moore, you're next. And I don't remember if you said a specific card, but Amy, I'm getting goddess for you. So let's do a goddess card for you, Amy. And whoa, okay, you. Oh, you have a twofer. Nyx and Metis. Metis? Let me go here so I can show them. Here is the first one that came out, Metis. She's the goddess of wisdom. Card number 35, which is an 8. Look at that headdress. She looks beautiful. And then Nyx, which says secrets. She's also beautiful. Card number 39, which is a 12, which is a 3. So we have a 3 and we have an 8. Let's see what these goddesses mean. So Metis was first, and they're both in empowerment messages. And Metis says, experience woven together with knowledge creates a beautiful thing, wisdom. Its parts are entwined like a finely made rope that is so strong it can't be cut. Wisdom, once earned, becomes an essential part of you. Right now, the Greek goddess of wisdom, Metis, says that you know exactly what to do in your current circumstances. The real question is, do you have the courage and the commitment to make a wise choice? Your answer is not to hide. You are being invited to look within rather than without. Take the wisdom you already have and apply it to your question. Perhaps, however, you must instead draw forth the humility to find someone wiser to weigh in. In this powerful time, others may seek you out for your wisdom. This is also an auspicious period when new relationships are founded on deep truths shared with others. You are entering a potent period of your life to share all that you are and all you have learned. Extraordinary things are possible when the goddess Metis reminds you of your wisdom and the need to express it. And then you also had a second card, the goddess Nyx. And I love her forehead. If you look, she's got the moon and stars on her forehead and all those stars in her hair. Lovely. Okay, and she was also an empowerment message to you. There are times when you must surrender your need to know. Some things open up only when they choose to, not by demand. The mysterious and the unknowable is the domain of the Greek goddess Nyx. She shows you the veils that may not part for you at this time. Right now, you're meant to keep on your path, trusting that secrets will be revealed as the goddess Nyx decides. Remain true to your intentions and keep on moving forward, remaining curious and open to what you can discover. Allow your need to know the details right now to fall away and just be present to all that life is offering you. Judge nothing as good or bad and just be with what arises. Soon the treasures you seek will be revealed and it will be better and more valuable than you could have imagined. The goddess Nyx knows what is best for you. Trust and all will be revealed in divine timing. Lovely, lovely. Amy. Okay. Debbie Tibbetts Tumiel. I'm getting an animal card for you. So Debbie, the other Debbie, Debbie Tibbetts Tumiel. Let's do a card here. Pig spirit, when pigs fly. No. And it was upside down, but that's okay because it's usually a good message anyway. Pig spirit says, use your mind wisely. Pigs. Card number 47, which is an 11. So somehow something illuminating coming to fruition. And let's see what Pig Spirit says. 47. I don't think we've had her very much. I don't remember if we've had her at all. Pig Spirit in protection says, are you ruminating, turning thoughts around and around in your head, but not getting nearer to a decision or a solution? Pig Spirit is here to protect you from analysis paralysis. Let your mind rest now and allow your intelligence to mingle with the mysteries of intuitive guidance, releasing your tight hold on facts and unsolved puzzles, whether it be a relationship or any other aspect of your life. In fact, now might be a good time to think about something else altogether and release your grip on needing to know. When your thought processes are muddied by fear and anxiety, allow Pig Spirit to lead you back to the right use of your natural intelligence. Take a break, relax, and release that ball of worry. Soon the smart choice will become clear to you. More facts may be needed, more digging for information, and more questioning. When seeking to learn more, enjoy the process of using your thinking prowess. All the elements of your intelligence are reliably guiding you now once you've given your mind a rest. There we go. I think that's a great card too. Okay, let me go one last time over here. Both cards are beautiful, Amy says, and they're beautiful messages. And Debbie says she's so cute. Thank you. You're welcome. Good morning, Kathy Miller. It's good to see you. Okay, no questions or anything. Anybody need to get something off their chest or talk about anything in particular? Debbie says, LOL, I need to do my taxes and don't want to. Well, that's where I was yesterday, Debbie. I did my taxes and then they got rejected from the IRS. So now I have to go and figure out why in the hell the IRS wasn't accepting my tax return. It said something about some code. I don't know, but I'll get to the bottom of that today. Yesterday I was so frustrated. I got to tell you, doing taxes when you have a business is not easy. And I was so confused, and I get this person to help me because I'm using TurboTax, and the person's name was Vashti or something, and he's not from the US. And I'm like, how can you help me if you don't know the US tax laws? And he's like, I can help you, Mom. And I'm like, okay. but he couldn't help me. And I was like, okay, I'm frustrated. I mean, to tell you, I was frustrated. And then I went, okay, calm. I said, is there anybody that knows specifically how to help me? And he goes, let me get somebody for you. So at least he knew how to get me help. And they helped me. I got to the answer I needed, and only to have the IRS not accept the return. So I probably just made some stupid small error, and I will fix it. In the meantime, though, Debbie, I'm with you. I get it. It's not fun to do. Judy, I just have to share my mom's phrase, and she had so many, so I'll share with you all. She says, there's nothing under the sun that hasn't been done already. I've never forgotten this. There's nothing under the sun that hasn't been done already. Love it. Amy, laugh out loud. My new roommate's kitties just took over my room. One is glued to the TV. I think it's so cute that pets love Janet. Pets and kids. Pets and kids. It's probably that gate 25 of universal love. I just sort of love pets and kids and people and plants. Anyway. All right, guys, I think that is it for me today. Tomorrow we will be talking about the spring equinox. We'll look at a chart for that event, because we can look at an event chart and we can get an idea what's building for the spring or for whatever season that we're talking about. And let's see, what else is tomorrow? I think that'll be it for tomorrow. That'll probably take us up to the hour. Anyway, if anybody has any issues or questions or problems, let me know. Remember, we are here for one another. In the meantime, have a great day. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.